Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's Robbie Crager, the Flip Flop Flipper, and today we're going to talk about a subject that's just near and dear to my heart. This is what we do, this is what we know and what we love. This is why you watch this YouTube channel. We are value-add real estate investors, and I'm going to make an attempt at convincing you to become a value-add real estate investor and at least tell you what the hell it means. And so go ahead and hit that like button on the way in, and if you haven't already done it, smash the subscribe button for us, guys. We're growing a community of like-minded people. We're trying to build a community that does deals together. We don't make anything on this YouTube channel other than we hope that one day we're gonna partner with people from this community. We actually already have done that and we've got videos about it, but we'd like to partner with you. We want to help people become real estate investors, get out of the rat race and become an entrepreneur. So, value add real estate. I talk about it all the time. If you wanna talk about wholesaling real estate, my friend Jerry Norton has tons of content on that, and he does a magnificent job of explaining that and teaching people how to do that. And by all means, I love that business. Watch his stuff. You can watch some of ours, we talk about it, but we do something different in that we're value-add real estate investors. If you want to talk about buying subject to, we also do that, and we love that. But our friend Pace Morby probably has better content on it, and you can go watch his content. I'm telling you, about value-add real estate investor. This is what separates us from them. We like to buy things and think about what the highest and best use is and then renovate it to that highest and best use. And then our preferred way to do this real estate stuff is to own real estate for a really, really long time. So what does it mean to be a value-add real estate investor? And guys, I'm talking about more than just buying a house for $50,000, putting $20,000 in, and then selling it for $100,000. That is a type of value-add real estate investing. But what I'm really getting at, what I'm really excited about, is when I find a building like the one that I'm sitting in today, and it was offices. It's been offices for 40 years. And over a period of time, these offices went out of vogue. No one was using them. So when I came here and bought these offices, they hadn't been used in over a decade. So their value was very, very low. And we were able to buy based off the value of vacant, distressed, old, nasty, smelly offices. On this property that we're showing you here, this was the vacant office stuff. We bought it at a really, really low valuation, and we paid pretty close to what it was worth, right? Like maybe if we're getting a good deal, we're paying 80, 85 cents on the dollar to what it was worth as a vacant, decrepit office building. And that's okay. We were good with paying that because our intent was never to bring it back to life to be an office building ever again. We wanted to do what we considered value-add real estate investing and renovate these kind of properties up to its highest and best use, which in this case, we've renovated it up to the use of becoming an apartment. So basically we're turning offices into 2-bedroom, 1 or 2-bedroom, 2-bath condominiums or apartments. And then we either rent them out long-term, sell them, or rent them out on a nightly rate. Or sometimes what we really like to do is have a whole building full of them and then turn it into a hotel. So that's the kind of thing that really, really puts a smile on my face, is when I can figure out what's the highest and best use of a particular building and then purchase it at its current use, at the valuation of its current use. It's normally going to be, especially in Puerto Rico, a vacant building that has no use whatsoever. So we buy things really, really well because they don't have any cash flow. They need a ton of work and everybody knows it, but they don't have a vision for what it can be. So we're doing some really big projects on the island where we're taking office buildings and turning them into condominiums to sell or apartments to rent, or on the Hiawatha building, which is just down the street here on Juan Ponce de Leon, we're taking what was a vacant office building and turning it into a luxurious hotel. And it's going to be a landmark for San Juan, Puerto Rico. And I can't freaking wait. We just started with the renovations last week and we're going at it hard and heavy. So we'll have other content on that eventually, because we're going to kind of follow along with the progress. But we are doing a multi-million-dollar renovation of a building that we bought as a distressed, empty office building. So that's what we like to do. We like to think about this building that had no one in it. It needs all of this work, and we could renovate it back to be an office, or we could renovate it back to be a condo, or we could renovate it back to be a hotel, or whatever you have in your mind. So we've got another one right behind me up the street here, the other way on Juan Ponce de Leon. It's 18,000 square feet. There are 11 apartments there, 11 apartments on floor 2 and 3, and then commercial space, a massive commercial space downstairs. There's one tenant, and she runs a little bodega, a little shop. She's in there. She's been in there for years. She pays rent. And now we're going to renovate the rest of the building, and we're going to figure out what its highest and best use is. And so we're in the process of that right now. So we started whitewashing it. So what we'll do is we'll go in and we clean out all of the nasty stuff. We go in and we fix all of the walls, we fix the plumbing, we fix the electric, and we get it to where it's a commercial space now. And hopefully someone's going to put a restaurant in there. Someone's going to put a coffee shop in there. Someone's going to put a store. It could be a ferreteria. It doesn't matter. We'll let kind of the market decide what should go there. It could be a nightclub. It could be that someone comes in and they want to build a hotel there. It's in an area that's absolutely on the rise and coming up. You can see building after building around it getting renovation. So we're not the only ones in the area who think that it's a good area. We were actually looking at a building in front of it, and it started to get renovated, and then we found the building behind it, and we thought, you know, this guy up here is renovating this building and making it really nice. We're going to renovate this building, and so the neighborhood will start to change. And we like to see that, right? That's part of that value add. That's part of that value add investment strategy, is that as you add value to one of the projects you're doing, someone across the street starts to add value to a building that they're doing, and the next thing you know, the whole area changes. And we're seeing that on Juan Ponce de Leon in San Juan, Puerto Rico. The Juan Ponce de Leon used to be like the Fifth Ave of Puerto Rico, and then it fell into some kind of decay where there was drugs and prostitution, and all the businesses left for many years. But now the businesses are all coming back, and you see 787 Coffee, and you see the Ciudadela, and you're going to see our beautiful hotel, the Verano Hotel Group, where we're building down the street on Juan Ponce de Leon. So this whole area is sort of on the rise. So here's the next really cool part of being a value add real estate investor, and knowing that we're buying down at the low valuation because it doesn't have any revenues and it's empty and it needs a lot of work. And then we can back into what we're going to make on our money. So we can figure out a return of investment by what we're going to create. So a good example of that would be Jerry Norton has the Looking Glass Hotel, and he's recently put some content out about that. And you can see that he is doing value add real estate there. He has turned this Looking Glass Hotel into something that is the best version of that building that there ever has been. So I bought the building from another entrepreneur who had it, that had the idea of making it a hotel. I think it was just like slumlord apartment building for a long, long time. And he started to renovate it, but he lost interest. So then I came in with a group and we renovated it. We got it to where we were ready to put it out there for a low budget hotel. We were going to be like $85 a night to $115 a night. And Jerry Norton saw it and he said, you know what? I have a higher and better vision. So I love it, right? Like, so I thought its highest and best might be this kind of budget hotel, $85 to $115 a night. And Jerry came in and said, hell no, it's going to be kind of a nice traveling nomad hotel. It's going to have lots of Instagrammable spots. Maybe it's going to have a swimming pool on the roof, and it's going to have a bar up there, and it's going to have a restaurant downstairs. So he came and bought it from us, and he undid everything I did, which I love because he's doing it right. His vision for it was better than my vision for it, but I still find that fun because I just love it that you can take a piece of property and there can be so many different use cases for it. You don't have to get bottled down into one use case. And if you have a society or a group of people like we have with this community where different people can bring their eyeballs and put it on it and come up with a higher and better use, that to me is just fun. That gets me out of bed in the morning. That puts a smile on my face. I just love this kind of stuff. So when you're renovating a value add building like that, it doesn't sometimes matter how much you're spending on the renovation because you're going to back into what you're going to make, right? The better that your use is, then you can renovate to that level and you're still going to make your money. So you bought it at the low valuation, you renovate it up to its highest and best use, and then you're going to get the best rents for it because you've got it at its highest and best use. So I'm going to give you another example of renovating something to its highest and best use and having different eyes look at it to see what the highest and best use is. So we bought a property in Manatee that's a small guest house. When we bought it from a nonprofit organization that was going to make it a home for boys and girls. I don't think they ever actually had anybody use it. Actually, I know they never had anybody use it because they didn't have a use permit. So they never quite got to the point where they'd completed their project. They were basically going to have an orphanage for like older children to up to 18. And so that was what they thought was the highest and best use. And that would have been a magnificent use for them. But for whatever reason, that nonprofit organization moved out of the area. And so they had to sell the building. So when I came in, I saw the building and I had a different highest and best use for it. It had 6 rooms, and I said, hey, if I can put one more room in this, I can have a guest house hotel. And by having a guest house hotel, I can get to be part of Act 60 tourism and get tax credits back and get like 40% of my money back. So I bought it like that, thinking that I'm going to turn it into a guest house hotel and that I'm going to get tourism tax credits back. And we started going down that road, and the local person who was here on the island, Yami Abreu, came in to help us to do that, to help us put that together. And she came to us one day and she said, you know what? I'd like to buy it from you because I have a better highest and best use. I still want to make it a guest house, but I've got these houses that we're building in a factory that I want to bring onto the property, and I want to increase the unit count from the 7 that you were going to do up to, like, I think she's got up to 12 or something like that units. We're actually going to partner from our Opportunity Zone fund to her Opportunity Zone fund. We're giving her a lease option, and she's going to come in and renovate it to more units than we had it initially intended to do. And then over the course of time, she's going to drastically increase the value. She's going to get the tax credits. We're going to get a stable operator. Like Yami Abreu is Posadas, and she knows her stuff and operating this stuff. So we're going to get stable cash flow, and we got a little bit of profit. So we sold it to her for a little bit more than we bought it for. We lock all of that in. It was a beautiful, beautiful thing. So you'll see a pattern here, guys. I might have what I think is the highest and best use, and someone else has a better highest and best use. And so having, again, I'm kind of harping on it in this video, having this community, this YouTube community, where we can look at things together and we can partner with people from the YouTube channel and we can do this. This is what we want to do with this community, guys. So please, if you want to be a part of that, subscribe to the channel. If you want to talk to us about partnerships, if that intrigues you at all, send me an email at theflipflapflipperpr@gmail.com. Hey guys, I get it that often when I'm talking about, especially in Puerto Rico, the highest and best use, I see hotels. That's what I see. I believe I'm playing Monopoly for a living. I came to the island to buy single family, small, multifamily properties and either sell them as a flip or to keep them as rental properties. And we discovered this magnificent tool called Act 60 tourism. It used to be Act 74 tourism, but what it does is it basically gives you 40% tax credits back on your entire purchase and development costs, first year's operations, and the first year marketing. So because of that, that's a box that I have I have my lens fixed on that. So I'm often looking at stuff and thinking the highest and best use is how do we get it into this Act 60 and make it a hotel. Plus, the island of Puerto Rico wants to increase the amount of hotels by like 300%. So we have like 15,000 hotels, actually 400%. They want to have 90,000 hotels in the next 10 years or 15 years. They also want the GDP of the island to go from about a 6% of the GDP is hospitality, and they want to increase that to over 15% of the GDP. So there's lots of incentive to invest this way, and so that's why I talk about it. That's why I see it as potentially the highest and best. But other people could come around and see something that's better, right? There are many, many, many ways to skin a cat and many ways to come up with the highest and best use. And somebody who has a different vision than I will see on the same property, see it completely different. That's what's so much fun about buying real estate. And if you buy it really well, then you can invite people to come in and partner with you until you figure out how you make a bunch of money. We have other content on this where we talk about pivoting and we talk about, you go in with a plan and you've got to be able to take the blows and then change your plan and still be profitable. The main way that you can do that is by buying stuff right. So keep that in mind. Buying stuff right solves a whole lot of problems. Last thing I want to say about the value add real estate stuff and the hospitality stuff, what we've discovered when we're doing this is, in every case, from learning it from Jerry Norton, from learning it from Yami Abreu, and from learning it from our own personal experience, the better level of renovation that we give on a hospitality project directly impacts the nightly rate and the occupancy rate. So we started out with a property in Luquillo called the Surfing Turtle, and we renovated it really nice, and we do really well with it. It's a nice cash flowing 7-unit guest house hotel that we used Act 74 on, and we're getting some tax credits back, and we renovated it really well. Then the next one we did was a property out in Rincon, and we renovated it like 2 levels better, and we're doing really, really well with that. And then the next one we did was Miramar, Puerto Rico. We've got a little bed and breakfast, and we renovated that again. So we keep stepping up the level to with which we renovate. Hopefully that gives you a few examples of what value add real estate investing can look like, and I hope that it excites you the way that it excites me. I hope that you're a part of our community and you send me that email at theflipflopflipperpr@gmail.com. Let's do a deal together. If you'd like to become a value add real estate investor with us, there are so many ways that you can do it. It all starts with an email. It actually all starts by hitting that subscribe button, but then very shortly after that, sending us that email at theflipflopflipperpr@gmail.com. We've got a bunch of other projects that we don't even talk about yet because they're just starting out and they're getting started, but we're going to be looking for partners on things up and down Juan Ponce de Leon, and we've got things we're looking at in Rincon, Puerto Rico. We've got other things we're looking at in Isla Verde. We've got all kinds of projects that are going to be coming up, and we're looking for partners. We'd love to partner with you guys, so hit me up. Let me know if you want to be a partner. Leave me a comment. Thanks for watching the video, guys. God bless.